It began with a sound so sharp it cut through the morning like a warning. A sudden crack, a branch splitting, a shadow shifting behind her. In a neighborhood known for silence, something dark was already waiting to unfold. She didn't know that a simple call for help, a single responsible act, would bring her face to face with an officer who believed the law was his personal weapon. And once their paths crossed, nothing in her quiet life would ever stay quiet again. The sun had barely risen, and the streets of Willow Bend were still damp from the night's storm. Isabelle walked slowly along the familiar sidewalk, her headphones playing soft music as she breathed in the cool morning air. Everything felt peaceful, almost too peaceful. Birds fluttered across rooftops, and the neighborhood looked freshly washed, as if nothing bad could ever happen here. But peace broke the moment she saw the fallen branch. A huge maple limb, thick and heavy, had snapped during the storm and was now hanging dangerously over the sidewalk, half on the ground and half suspended in the air. Isabelle moved closer, noticing how loosely it was attached. One strong breeze and it could fall on someone passing by. She sighed and reached for her phone. Calling the non-emergency number felt like the right thing to do. "Hi," she said, glancing up at the branch. "There's a broken tree limb hanging over the walkway on Willow Bend Drive. Someone might get hurt. Could you send someone to remove it?" The operator thanked her. She ended the call, slipped her phone into her pocket, and expected nothing more than a simple cleanup later. She didn't expect a patrol SUV to appear within minutes, speeding down the street, tires screeching as it stopped right in front of her. Startled, she stepped back as two officers jumped out. The first one, Officer Keller, had the kind of presence that swallowed the space around him. His jaw was tight, eyes sharp, posture hard like someone who believed everyone owed him something. His partner, Officer Marks, looked far calmer, almost hesitant, but he followed Keller closely. Keller's gaze landed on Isabelle like she had committed a crime. "You the one who called?" he demanded. She blinked, unsure why he sounded irritated. "Yes, about the branch." Keller looked at her like she had insulted him. "You wasting police time over this?" She frowned. "It's dangerous. Someone could get hurt." "I'm not your gardener," Keller snapped. Marks shifted awkwardly beside him, but Keller didn't stop there. He stepped closer, towering over her. "ID," he ordered. "What? Why?" she asked, genuinely confused. "Because I told you to." She hesitated for just a moment, and that was enough to trigger him. Keller grabbed her wrist, hard. "Ow, hey, stop!" she gasped, trying to pull away. Marks stepped forward. "Keller, she's not resisting." "Stay out of this," Keller growled without looking at him. He twisted her arm, pushing her back toward the patrol SUV. The metal pressed against her spine, sending a jolt of pain through her. "I called for safety," she said, her voice shaking. "Why are you doing this?" Keller leaned close, eyes cold. "Because people like you think you run the place. You think calling the police gives you authority." Her breath trembled. "I didn't do anything wrong. You're interfering with an officer," he said sharply, reaching for his handcuffs. That's when a voice echoed across the street. "I wouldn't do that if I were you, officer." All three turned. Mr. Hayward, an older man from the house across the street, stood on his porch holding his phone. The red light on his door camera blinked steadily, recording everything. Keller froze. Anger flashed across his face. "Turn that off," he snapped at Hayward. "No." Hayward's voice was steady. "Someone has to make sure the truth is recorded." Marks looked relieved. Keller looked murderous. He released Isabelle's wrist abruptly and backed away, forcing a fake calm into his expression. "We're done here," he muttered. Marks gently touched Isabelle's arm. "Are you okay?" She nodded faintly, though her wrist throbbed. Keller glared at her one last time before getting into the SUV. "You just made a powerful enemy," he said quietly. The SUV pulled away. Her morning was ruined. Her peace was broken. Her life had just changed, though she didn't fully realize how much. Later that day, Mr. Hayward knocked on her door. "I saw everything," he said softly. "And I have the full footage. You don't deserve what happened to you." Isabelle exhaled shakily. "I don't even know what to do." "You file a complaint," he said. "And you don't back down." So she did. Internal Affairs took her statement. though their expressions looked tired, like they were used to hearing similar stories. She explained everything in detail: the call, Keller's aggression, the wrist grab, the threats. They wrote it all down, but doubt lingered in their tone. Meanwhile, Keller stormed through the station like a man who believed consequences weren't meant for him. He mocked the investigation, convinced the system would protect him, and it had, before. But this time, there was a camera. That night, Isabelle received a call from a blocked number. She answered. Silence. Then breathing. Slow, heavy. Her stomach dropped. It was Keller. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. The message was clear. When the story leaked to the local news, reporters gathered outside her home. She didn't want attention. She wanted safety. But when a reporter asked if she believed the officer should face consequences, she realized this wasn't just about her anymore. If there wasn't a camera, she said, no one would believe me. And I know I'm not the first person he's done this to. Her words spread. People listened. Officer Marks watched the news from his apartment. Guilt clawed at him. He replayed the moment of her pain, the fear in her eyes, the wrong he allowed to happen. And finally, he picked up his phone and called Internal Affairs. This is Officer Marks, he said. I'm ready to give my full statement. Everything changed after that. Keller was suspended, then arrested. In court, he stood in handcuffs, anger burning in his eyes as Isabelle entered with steady steps. Marks sat behind her, hands clasped, quietly supporting her. Keller pointed at her furiously. This is your fault. No, she replied calmly. This is because of your choices. When the judge read the charges, assault, intimidation, abuse of authority, something inside Isabelle finally loosened. The fear didn't disappear completely, but the weight did. A week later, she took her usual morning walk again. Same path, same trees, same breeze. But she felt different. She passed the same spot where the branch had fallen. The danger was gone. The street was calm again, and this time she kept walking without fear. Sometimes she realized silence isn't peace. Sometimes peace has to be fought for. And sometimes the quietest person becomes the voice that changes everything.